What's up, everybody? Sean here with another live Live to Roll video. So this week we're going to be talking about the Abilities Expo. And for any of you guys who don't know, it's a great event. We'll be giving you a lot of information on that. And we have Julianne here as our guest. We'll let her introduce herself in a second. For real quick, my name's Sean, like C5, C6 quadriplegic from a snowboarding accident. Tom, you want to give your quick intro?
Hey, everybody. Any new viewers, welcome. Thanks for joining. Any viewers that are returning, thanks for coming back and joining us again. I'm Tom Conaway. I'm a C5, C6 quad as well. I live here in SoCal. I've been injured for 24 years in an automobile accident when I was 4. And yeah, I'm really stoked to talk about probably the biggest and the coolest, like most representative event for individuals with disabilities and technology out there is the Abilities Expo. And I'm fortunate and blessed to be friends with Julianne Delara and one of the top head honchos of the Abilities Expo. So welcome. And do you mind introducing yourself a little bit?
Thank you. Well, I'm here to represent the paraplegics out there. I'm a T12 para from transverse myelitis, this rare disease that just woke up paralyzed one day. That was 24 years ago. Tom, I didn't know you and I were the same wheelchair age.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I was
Gotta have a party.
not when I got paralyzed. Um, so yeah, and I've been in the community, pretty active in the community. I sold bands for a long time, and eventually I got the phone call from David Corse and Lou Schomer, the owners of the Abilities Expo, and said, "Hey, we're looking at 3 people in wheelchairs, and we want one of you to come work for us." And I am honored because the other 2 were Ernie Espinosa and Anthony Arifeshe. So
Oh,
I
wow.
was in amazing company. I don't know who they asked first because both Ernie and Anthony were doing these other jobs. So I guess because they turned them down, I got the job. But I'm cool with that. And that was 8
Yeah.
years ago. So what I do for the Abilities Expo is I look around and I find the coolest, most appropriate, most unusual, the latest and greatest products that are out there for us. And I talk them into exhibiting at the Abilities Expo. So if you've never been there, it started in Southern California in 1979. And it's a trade show for products for every type of disability. But over these years, it's sort of evolved into really having products mostly for people in wheelchairs. So the standards when you go there are going to be the wheelchair companies, Permobile, Sunrise, Key Mobility, those guys, and all the van people, Braun, BMI, Toyota, Chrysler, all those guys. But then as you go, so that's when you first walk in, you'll see these big booths because they've got the most money. And then as you
Yeah.
go a little further, you'll start to see some of the cool little stuff. So as we go on, I want to tell you about some of the different products you'll see there. But I think, see what you boys think, but I think the most important part of the Abilities Expo is going and seeing other people who look like you, act like you, and talking with them and seeing people you only see once a year, but you see them at the Abilities Expo.
So my
Yeah.
experience with it has been, I don't know. I feel like I entered the disabled community like 6 or 7 years ago when I moved like down here to Southern California because I just wasn't too involved with other individuals in chairs for most of my adolescent life growing up, even though I was disabled. like almost, all my life growing up. But it wasn't until I moved down here to SoCal, and then it wasn't until 2 or 3 years after that I heard about the Abilities Expo. After I had, met a few of you guys, and a few friends had told me about it, and that's what it really was like. It was this incredible, amazing, immersive experience where you get to see and experience a lot of cool technology. The vans, and you get, I don't know. It was also a very fun and interesting experience to kind of get like a one-on-one interaction with some different individuals from your like wheelchair vendor. Like my wheelchair vendor is New Motion, and I won't say whether which how I feel about him, good or bad, but it was a really awesome and amazing experience to talk to some like higher up technicians that I don't know. I had this guy, like, he sat there with his little notebook, and we talked for like 30 minutes about like cool ideas I had for like, a power wheelchair, like things that, ideas I had, like things I would change, like what, and he like sat there and like wrote all this stuff down, and he talked to me about like why certain things probably, wouldn't be realistic, but, we talked about some like really cool ideas that did work. And that was amazing and like really neat. And the vendors, like you said, like at the beginning are kind of the big name brand companies, but the further back you go, you get more into a lot of like accessories, like the ADL stuff, the activities of daily livings we go through every day, like vendors with technology or tools, adaptive or assistive devices, a lot of like the smaller, kind of homegrown companies that are out there doing it. I know Live to Roll recently had a booth at last year's Abilities Expo, right before,
Right.
the shutdown of the world, with all this Corona stuff.
I didn't remember that. What?
Yes, he did all
Yeah,
weekend
I
long.
had
We
a
were
booth
representing
this
Live to
last
Roll.
expo, my first year, which was really cool. It was a really great experience for me. I really enjoyed it. And that was when I was really first starting out, before we even started doing these live shows. I had just like, thought it would be really cool to have a booth. I printed out a bunch of autonomic dysreflexia information cards to pass out for people, like wallet cards, and then some parking information things for people to be double parked in California. So like I wanted to be there to give out some information and help out the community a little bit. And then I was also selling some hats and t-shirts as well to try to raise money for Live to Roll. But it was a great experience being there. I've gone every year for the last, I think, 6 or 7 years since I kind of like the first few years of my injury I didn't go, and I wish I would have gone earlier on because I know there was a lot of technology and cool things I could have seen and people I could have met that would have been helpful in the beginning. But I waited several years into it. But once I went, I was hooked, and I went every year. I started, first I went one day. The next year I went 2 days. The last couple years I had gone through all 3 days, and then this year I had the booth and was there obviously all 3 days and stuff. But yeah, it's a fantastic experience.
And
Eh,
that other part of it, which beyond the technology and all the interaction with these innovators who are building the technology that enables us to access our world, right? Beyond that, it's this really cool, unique experience to see people you maybe didn't see until like since last year at the last Abilities
yeah,
Expo.
that's one of the
Maybe
cool
because they
things.
live far away, but they are travel to this event because it's worth it to come out and spend the weekend and interact. And after the event, like we all go to the local hotel and like
Yep.
hang out in the bar and the restaurant, like have dinner and drinks and all like kind of come together. This like annual celebration, which is like a very fun element of it too, which I don't think is broadcasted too much. But
That
the
it's always free. Admission is free. We can't do
Yep.
anything about parking, but
Yeah.
admission is always free. So
Yeah, and one element of it that is always like an important topic for an individual with a chair is transportation. How are you going to get there, right? Some of us have the fortunate experience of just being able to book a hotel room and staying for the weekend, whether or not you'll figure out how to get to the hotel and back, right? I usually only go for a day or two. It'll usually be like Friday or Saturday. By Sunday, I'm a little burnt out, ready for a down day. Um, but I don't drive, and if I can't hop a ride with one of my quad homies or pair of homies who does, my alternative is usually public transportation, metro, bus, or access. I've done it both ways. The first year I went metro, and this is here in Southern California. We have a pretty awesome public transportation system. And if you are an access services member, you can ride for free, which is cool. And access service is an adaptive transportation service or assistive transportation service here in Southern California that works in line with Metro to allow disabled individuals to like schedule like vans and like direct transportation from one location to the next. And that is how I went last year. And access was pretty awesome. It's always, and you got to be patient. It's a shared ride system, but they like prepare for it. And they have like gotten really good, I think, in the last like 5 or 6 years in preparing for the event. And what they do is they like allocate a fleet of vehicles and they have like all the different areas locked down and it's all super, super organized in advance. And as long as you call like a day ahead, you are pretty on point. And even getting home, I don't think you have to schedule a trip going home. I think like, or I schedule a time, meaning like any as long as you have your trip booked, they have vans going all day long. And I think like I know for a fact last year you're able to go out and talk to the access like dispatchers right there who are organizing it all and be like, hey, I want to go a few hours later, and they can get you on, a different ride that's going back to your area and stuff. So I did want to say that like it's neat. Like the expo is an event that outreaches to all these different organizations, right? But they also work in tandem with the services and stuff that are there to benefit us and service us as well. Because I know that has been a big issue in the past. Just like events with like lots and lots of wheelchairs. It's like, how do you organize an event with like 1,000+ wheelchair users and they all need handicap spots, right? Or they all, like need, transportation, drop off, easy access, like at the front door. Like, how do you arrange that for, on a mass scale? It's not easily done, I know. And I did want to shout out, like, that's it. I thought like a very cool element of the expo
And that's
and
one
my
of the
experience with
benefits
it
for
personally.
people that during this COVID time during 2020 is you don't have to deal with the transportation and the driving. Um, you can see most of this technology and see a lot of the stuff from your home. So, Julian, do you want to
So
explain some of
that's like a
what the
nice
virtual?
transition, right? Like, what is
Yeah.
the COVID virus done to the Abilities Expo, and how is it coming back for
Yeah.
2020 and 2021?
Of course, we had our LA show at the end of February, and
Okay.
within a couple of weeks, it was like, but if you remember, most of us were going, oh, well, in a couple of months, everything will be back to normal. So we had to cancel one show at a time, and then eventually we canceled all the live shows in 2020. We still have the dates for LA set for March 12, 13, and 14. But if we can't do it live, we're going to do it virtually
Yeah.
because we've done one virtual show. This was last June. We had over 10,000 people who
Wow.
came through, attendees who came through. I think we had 84 different exhibitors. We always have workshops, events, and it was such a good success that we're doing it again November 20, 21, and 22. The live portion will be 9 to 5 Pacific time. And during that live portion, we've got Paul Amadeus Lane, our local internet radio celebrity. He's going to be doing interviews. So we've got some amazing interviews lined up. We've got Ali Stoker, who won the Tony on Broadway, the first person in a wheelchair to ever win a Tony. We
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
yeah,
seen
talked to
her.
her.
She's
She's
awesome.
amazing. I've heard her interviewed before, and she is so fascinating. We've got the guy who's the current CEO of Brawn Ability, so we can find out what's going on with Brawn and where they are headed. We've got the guy who invented and developed the iBot wheelchair, which is now back.
Oh.
So for a mere, I think it's $40,000, you too can have an iBot wheelchair. So all of these guys, there'll be interviews where people can just chat in and ask questions. And then we'll have, I think so far, we've got about 50 exhibitors signed up. And you can go into their virtual booth. You just click on their booth on the website, and there will be videos. You can chat directly with them. You can have a video chat with them. And there's a schedule.
That's neat.
3 times a day. Each exhibitor is going to be doing a live Q&A. So
Oh wow.
every
cool.
half hour from 9 to 5, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's going to be live Q&As with all the different exhibitors. We've got 5 van companies, 4 wheelchair companies. Besides iBot, we have Omeo, which, if you've never seen it, is that chair where you move it by moving your body.
Yeah, it's like a
It's-
Segway, right? Or like the leaning.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It's like a seated Segway, only it's
Yeah.
bright green and much sexier than a Segway. And then there's some of these. We've got a couple exercise. We've got the Velo chairs, an exercise chair. We've got let's see, another one. We've got 2 bed companies, and then there's these other cool products. Like, let me just tell you a couple stories. There's this mom of 5 girls, and one of her girls has spina bifida, and so she's 7 years old. And besides the other 4 girls, who are all in elementary school or junior high, she's trying to get her 11-year-old to get dressed and do all the things to get out the door and get to school. And she just got so tired of being a nagging mom that she and her husband developed this iPhone. They made a process on the iPhone where the iPhone goes through this checklist with the kid. Okay, put on your shoes, check, and mom gets a text when the shoes are on. And
Wow.
you know, because mom got tired of the girl getting ready for school, coming out with no pants and no shoes, but otherwise she's ready. And then when she's at school, mom will get a text every time the girl is calved. It'll text her what the girl's blood pressure, heart rate is. And she was telling me there's this one time when she didn't get the text that the girl had been capped, and she called the school because the daughter has a suprapubic. So I guess if she doesn't get capped, the fear is that the bladder will explode. Is that a real thing, Sean, or am I thinking of something else?
No, it'll just
No.
distend and start to back up into the kidneys.
Yeah, so for me, I get bladder spasm. So if I fill up, I'll actually just start to pee on myself. Like I'll pee out because my bladder will spasm. But the one time I got Botox injections and it stopped my bladder spasms, I actually had to go to the ER to get cath because I was backing up into my like I was getting really 80. So it definitely can be dangerous. Like if you're not, but yeah, it's yeah, it's not gonna explode. I don't think, but it's
Yeah,
not good.
no, the fear though is like you get such extreme discomfort from like not evacuating that, you'll end up like, I mean, for us, it's autonomic dysreflexia, we'll like stroke out or, something if we don't treat the symptoms or treat whatever is causing it. And
Kid that
I don't,
can't communicate.
for other disabilities, I'm not sure, but, I know extreme discomfort manifests in extreme and not so great ways for a lot of people. So,
Yeah,
Here, I'm
so
gonna add in
text.
Bobby, guys. We're gonna have one more of our our friend's guest here on right now. You guys can continue to talk. Sorry, I just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be adding
And
somebody
Bob,
in here. Yeah, Bobby is going to be
Bobby.
joining us. So
all right. Well, this is an app that is available. She wants to teach people about it. That's going to be one of these things. There's this lady who you were talking, Tom, about how there's people who make these products in their own, in their garage, and they
Yeah,
just want to sell it because they want.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they want to become billionaires. They just want to help our community, usually because they've had some experience in their life. Like I've got a new guy that does exercise program. He's going to be on, and his Q&A, he's going to run these exercise segments for us. He said something about having pom-poms available. I didn't go into it.
There we go.
But he got into it because his dad was in a wheelchair. And then just 2 weeks ago, his dad went in to get some skin cancer surgery. He went into the hospital in Arizona and got COVID and got on a ventilator, had a heart attack, and died.
Oh my God.
So this young man has just 2 weeks ago has gone through losing his dad, and he's going to be in the expo because he thinks his dad wants this to be his reason for living now. So one of the things about our exhibitors is I almost always, at least one of my exhibitors will end up in tears going, these are the nicest people. All the people walking around in my life are always bitching and moaning, and everybody here has a smile on their face. It's like they're discovering us. And it's
Right.
very, very dear. And our
I'd like to take a second to welcome the beautiful Bobby Rohan, our wonderful co-host. Thank you for
So
joining
beautiful.
us.
You're
but
welcome.
no,
Thanks for
that's an incredible
letting
story,
me
though,
come on a
Julie.
little bit late. I was in a staff meeting, but thank you, Sean, for patching me back in because I have known Julianne for now 25 years, I think it is, and she does amazing work. Not only working with Abilities Expo, but she sold me my last van, helped me through that last process, and we've been friends, served on a board of directors through another nonprofit together. So I definitely wanted to. I knew I was going to be late, but I'm like, I'm going to get on somehow. So welcome, Julianne, and glad we have you on again. I was hearing something with the pom-poms and exercise, and I just saw a exercise video a gal put up in a chair with pom-poms. So it was almost.
That's awesome.
To me, I kind of fast forwarded, but I don't know if it's going to be a big hit with the guys, but it definitely looked like a cheerleading kind of workout. And I don't know, it was funny talking about workout. My grandson showed me a YouTube video that he likes to dance to, a song called Blue, blah, 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 something like that. But
Okay.
so I'm just sitting there dancing with him for we did it twice, and it was like 10 minutes of dancing. I was like, I was beat. When I went to bed, I passed out. So it's funny when we think about working out, and I'm not sure if you guys have that at your expo. I know we're talking about Abilities Expo and all the various things, but I don't know if we have any exercise people coming in.
We always have workshops at the live shows and at the virtual ones. And I'm looking here. ARC seated workout is looks like Friday at 10. Guided meditation is Friday at 11:30. Mindful morning movement. Can't say that if you're hungover. That's at noon on Friday. Cannabis Q&A. Making bathrooms accessible. Looks how to play chess. And accessible travel, of course. And looks like we've got musical performances, understanding pain meds, cooking Oreo dirt cups, with the Accessible Chef.
Nice.
Service dogs, Ask the Doctor, Inclusive Fitness Workout, and Envision Dance Exchange. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a lot of
Some dance.
yeah.
Well, and it's cool to see the chess coming back. And I don't know if anybody's seen the new series on Netflix called Queen's Gambit. It's
Great.
excellent show to check
It's on
out.
my
It's
list.
nothing to do with disability, but it's a pretty good show that features chess. And obviously, for us rookies, we're not going to be able to get to her level as fast as she did, but that's cool.
Oh, Audie Angel is gonna teach a dance class on, looks like on Sunday, and we've got a hand cycle workout. I'm not sure how that'll work, but we've got a hand cycle workout on Sunday as well. It looks like. Oh, how to maintain your power chair. Cool.
I like it, Bobby. You're making me want to get outside, get a hand cycling. I have a question for Sean, co-host.
Yeah.
As a recent vendor, tell us a little bit about your experience getting involved on that side of it. Like, if anybody's interested, like, I know that there's tons of, like, people innovating and inventing and, like, cool businesses and, cool ideas that they want to share. So, how was your experience getting a booth at the expo and getting involved as, a vendor and, as, like, business owner?
It was really cool for me, especially last year. I was still just kind of trying to figure everything out with Live to Roll and getting it going and stuff. Besides just like making some videos to help out people. So it was just a really cool experience to see that side of it, to be on that side, to be able to network with people. Honestly, it was a great experience, and I would really love to do it again. I'm really hoping we'll be able to get back to that this next year, because
So
I know, yeah.
I know it's free, like, to attend, but is there like a cost associated with like exhibiting there?
Has
So
to
there
be,
is,
otherwise we wouldn't be.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm just like,
yeah.
is it okay to share that information? Like, is that like information on the website?
Yeah, well, no, it's not, because there are different costs depending on what your product or service is. And
Right.
it breaks
That's
down
what I
like
was gonna
this.
say.
If you, for the virtual, if what you sell is over $250, normally the price for a regular booth is $2,500 for the 3 days of the show. That's the normal price. However, we got a price break if what you sell is under $250, because we want the people who are making things in their garages to be able to afford. And that's true for the live show and the virtual. So under $250, it's a $1,500. And then if you're a nonprofit, and we figure you're probably really broke unless you're with us, $750 for
Okay.
the 3 days of the show.
Yeah, and for
Not
me,
bad.
they
Pretty
they
fair.
luckily the first year, it was my first year, and I was really not knowing what I was doing and stuff. And David, I think is he the owner CEO? He's who I emailed. He was really nice, super cool guy, and he gave me a pretty discounted rate because he knew I wasn't really going to be making much money there. I was going to be giving a lot of free information out, and I wasn't, much of anything, a business or a foundation, or I was just kind of like a guy that had some stuff that he wanted to show and do.
You are
But
representing the community.
but I did want to represent the community, yes, and I was also there representing Triumph. I was sharing Triumph information like I always do. I had all this stuff for the different stuff that we had coming out for Triumph, and I was trying to send people to their booth. So I was kind of like helping to funnel also to all my other people that all the other nonprofits and companies.
There is another loophole, actually, that you fell into, which is, this is just for the live shows at this point, not for the virtual. But if you can become what's called an organizational sponsor, if you've got a lot of contacts and you can spread the word about Abilities Expo so we have more attendees, and you do this all through social media, your website, blah, 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 then it goes down to $350 for the 3 days of the show. Again, not the virtual, just the live shows. And technically, you're supposed to be a not-for-profit, but Hey, I don't own the thing. David and Lou do. So if they say out, then
Well,
that's the way
and
to
at
go.
that point, I was kind of
Sure.
unsure how I was gonna form or what I was gonna do. So like, I just wasn't. And I told him that I was open with. I told him I was like, I'm just not sure right now, but and he was just really nice and gave me. And luckily, I was able to make. I just made my money back, like everything I put into the booth and stuff. Like I broke like pretty much dead even for the weekend. So it worked out for me. It
Yeah.
was a great experience for the weekend. I didn't really cost me anything, and it was fun. So it was really awesome. Like I said, I would love to do it again. The Abilities Expo, it's just a great experience in general. Like the one thing I was bummed about having a booth is that I didn't get to go around as much as I would like and see everything else and see all the great products and stuff. So that was the one disappointment of having a booth. I was a little more obligated to be there for the few days.
One thing that
Information in chat. Can anybody see it, or it's just you guys that can see it?
On the chat,
Anybody can see.
yeah,
Anybody
anybody
can.
can see the chat,
it's
and I can put stuff
if you follow
into
the
the
YouTube
actual
link.
broadcast on the screen if you want. So
Okay,
that,
I wanted to put the link to sign up, and I also wanted to put my email down there in case somebody has an idea for a vendor, an exhibitor, that if you know somebody who wants to sign up for the virtual or for the LA show, or even if you just say, hey, I want to see accessible things to take lobster out of a lobster pot, whatever, just give me an idea, and I'll go and search for it for the next show we do.
okay, that's
You
great
And
know,
information for
what's really
people.
great. Uh, oh, go ahead, Tom. It sounds
no,
like you
no,
have a
Bobby.
question.
Nope. Go ahead, Bobby. You came on late. I'm rooting
Okay.
for you, man.
Well, and it's kind of a bummer. I mean, always the Abilities Expo every year is like, for me, and I've got to go to all of them pretty much across the United States here. My favorite is going to Boston because at nighttime that nightlife is pretty awesome in Boston, and going down and getting some good oysters and stuff like that. But it's always great to see friends that you've met over the years, and a lot of times I always call it like a class reunion. So it's always great to go check out some old friends that you haven't seen in a while. Especially for many of us, we meet people along the way in rehab or a therapist, because a lot of time the therapists go, and if we have any therapists that are watching now, take advantage of this. This is where you're going to learn about your job and what's out there for your patients and for the community. And
And it's free.
definitely taking, and it's free. And really, I mean, I can't stress enough, especially right now. I know that talking with Julianne, and they really, if you saw the first one, it's not going to be anything like the first one. And they really heard what people wanted and heard what the input was about the last virtual support group they put on, and they really changed it. I can just tell it's changed 120% better. And something, when I get to go there, I get so busy with working there and seeing friends, so I don't get to experience the classes and the presentations. So I would definitely take advantage of that and get to learn more about what's going on out there, even if it's not maybe per se relevant to what you're doing at home, especially through this COVID time. But take a look, because you might be able to help out others. And I mean, my job is helping out others. So definitely the more information you can find out and take advantage of that, the better you're going to let your friends who are in chairs know what's going on out there, because there's so much. I mean, for me personally, during this COVID time, it's, my wife she hates hearing this, but it's been one of my best years. I feel, and I was a person that ran around all the time, but now I'm at home. I get to work from home. I get to do this with Sean and Live to Roll and you guys. I get to still work, and now I get to go to all the support groups I wanted to. And then now I've been working out like so much in the morning with the YouTube sites that I've been finding, and I'm about to take a class. I'm taking some cooking class that up in the Bay Area, they have some online cooking classes. So kind of learning more about nutrition. And so I'm in healthy that way of working out and getting better at my nutrition. And so
Glass
it's
half
just,
full, Bobby. I love it. I wish more
you
people
know,
had this attitude regarding it. Because if they did, I feel like we'd all be safer and more comfortable at home hanging out?
I feel the
but
same
it's,
way you do, Bobby.
what's that?
I feel the same way you do. You can get to all the support groups. You don't have to drive. I got both my kids living at home with me now, which I absolutely love.
It's such an opportunity to better your mind and exercise your body, dedicate yourself to, like doing it. And it's such a good excuse too. It's like, hey, I'm gonna be at home hanging out anyways. Like let me do some online classes, like let me get
Yeah.
my workout on in my apartment, like Sean has been doing all these amazing exercise videos. Like, there's all these like awesome online workout programs where you can like join other people that like teach you to do at home exercises for free, like, and motivate you
Yeah.
along the way.
He's
It's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
great. That's what, like, I know Bobby's doing Adapt to Perform, or was doing his another YouTube channel. He does like different workout videos, and that's what you just got to embrace it at some point, and just try to, like you said, Tom, just if you're at home, take a class, do a workout, do whatever, like. And then, like, with the virtual expo, there's going to be a ton of stuff there, like Julian was saying, workshops, so you can keep yourself busy all weekend doing different workshops and watching these seminars, learning things, and then just seeing all
As
and
this
one of
cool
my
stuff.
favorite people says, it's okay to watch cartoons, but you gotta like exercise your brain a little bit too.
let me bring up the networking part of the virtual expo because, as Bobby said, the first time around, it was very much you go in, you look around, but there wasn't any interaction. We missed that part where we're
Right.
hanging with our buddies, right? So this time there's two different venues. There's a whole part where you just click on connect, and there's a list of all the people who have signed up, who have opted in. You can sign up and stay totally private if you want to. But if you opt in, then just your name and email are going to show up, and people can directly connect with you. Or there's a tab that says discuss, and you can put up your own discussion topic if that's what you want to do. And there's
That's
already a list of topics that people want to talk about, and you go in and you can chat with each other that way. So it's very cool, very
that sounds
cool
really
that
cool. That sounds awesome.
And I think one important aspect of the expo to talk about, it's free beyond like the social component and like the informational component, which is like enough like reason to get out there. It's an opportunity to connect with your vendors one on one personally, and like gain access to a lot of cool technology. But they're businesses, right? Too, and they're there to show off their products and to make some money. And but I mean, I've noticed a lot of times like people go there annually to get their new like wheels for new tires for their manual chairs and stuff because they're always like the vendors give the discounts at the expo, like if you go there in person and stuff you can always get hooked up with the awesome prices and get a free set that they throw in and stuff, right? I mean, I know Permobile like is set up there like doing wheelchair repairs all weekend long. If you can
Yep.
show up and schedule, like they have like a whole team of technicians there working on your stuff, which is really super cool and like an amazing aspect of it, I think too. But like go there with $100 and be ready to spend a little bit of money. Like it's fine to go and like come home with some new toys and some new like tools that you can use to like make your life a little bit easier. And one thing that I have heard, and it's not so much like a complaint, but something that like individuals do talk about following the expo is like it's fun to go there, but it's hard to sometimes like see these toys, like all these cars that are like 70, 80, $100,000. Like, of course the wheelchair companies like showcase their like flashiest, funnest chairs that, are $100,000 that are never, ever, ever going to be covered by insurance or Medi-Cal, or like approved and stuff. And like, it's cool to see those toys, but it's also like difficult to know that like for most of us, they're very out of reach in terms of like financially, like we can't all just go out and, get one of them, right? But nonetheless, there's so many
You
opportunities,
know,
I think,
can
to,
I say something on that? Can I say something real quick on that, Tom? You
yeah.
know, but this is a great opportunity, for those toys and those little bit out of a reach kind of things that you want. Talk to these vendors and say, how can I get that? And these vendors know that this is a problem. They know they have a great product. They know it costs a lot because the production is so low. When everybody's like, why does this cost so much? It's like, well, it's not like a bicycle where we produce millions of them. It's like we only produce 100, so our cost is a lot higher. So you say to the vendors, you know, if I really want this, do you know other ways to get this? And they probably heard of, there's a foundation that will help you pay for half of this and half of that. So you might be able to learn about organizations out there that will help you get grants.
And
And
I
so
know
they're
personally people that have been like excited about something. It's like, hey, like, let me get in that sucker. I'll show it off for you, like I'll showcase it for you and stuff. And so many of these individuals are wheelchair users themselves or have family members in chairs that they've like built these devices for. And they're all about getting them out into the community in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Like if there's a way for, you to help them and them to help you, almost all these companies are about it, which is really cool and really special. And you don't find that in a lot of places.
Um, it's the virtual is such an easy way to comparison shop because you know how like the permobile standing wheelchair where it's all power and you can wheel around while you're standing and it's
Mm-hmm.
about $35,000. There's a company called Wheelchair 88 where there's a manual chair you can pump yourself up to standing. Well, that's $3,000, not $35,000. So, and how would you know about all this stuff, unless you go from place to place to place? Well, this is an opportunity.
Exactly. And like a lot of us honestly like maybe are just aren't ready for it yet. Like I know that driving is like a big thing for a lot of, quads and paras out there, right? But it's a process that can sometimes take a few years. But it's cool to go to the expo and get to check out the kind of van that when you're ready and you have your license and stuff. And like that's the one I want to get, and then like you
Exactly.
work for it for a couple of years and then when you get to it, it's like, heck yeah, it feels good. And the next year you like see the upgraded stuff where you see the different stuff and that's the fun part to shop around and like set your goals and like manifest those goals like in time. It's a really cool place to see and experience that stuff firsthand. Not often can you roll into accessible van or accessible truck or something and get to put your hands on on the car and on the stuff and get to feel it and do it. And it's a cool opportunity, I think. And I mean, it's obviously going to be different virtually, for a time, but no doubt when things go back to normal, we'll be back to doing those same things again too.
Yeah.
And even if
Yep.
you can't
Can't
see and
wait.
touch it, it's still great to be able. I mean, you can still see it. You can't maybe physically get into it and try it, but at least you can see stuff. A lot of the things, even for the cars and vans, have virtual tours at the very least. You can kind of, at least maybe not on. I don't know if they'll be available directly through the Abilities Expo with you guys, I'm sure through their websites they would be through the car
Of them,
dealerships and
they
stuff.
are already set up for that. And
Okay.
we're
And
looking at, just like how I've asked when we can all get together again, that maybe the support groups could still be virtual in addition to being live.
Yeah,
At Expo, we are definitely considering that as well, that we would have a virtual expo running at the same time as we have the live expo, because we've gotten so many heartfelt thanks from people saying, I've never been able to drive and I live, too far away, or, like we don't have anything close to Kentucky. So those people have never gotten to go to a live expo and they're so thrilled to have a virtual. So even after all this nonsense is over, the virtual will probably stay.
that's good.
That's
yeah,
great to hear.
the thing that I love the most, I think, about the expo, and it's what I always talk about, is like the use of technology to like assist and enable our lives, and like enable independence. I mean, I'm all about finding cool tools to make my life easier and to allow me to do more things, that I want to do, right? And oftentimes when I go, it's like not even stuff that I can use, myself, but it's tools for different other, other disabilities, tools for, just like a range of different things. But it's so cool to go there and get inspired by the ideas and to see tools and like cool little nifty adaptive devices, or like just to go see someone do something, like demonstrate something in one of the exhibits and stuff, and just get so many ideas. You don't very often get to experience, that range of technology and tools and people showcasing, in such a unique way. I mean, I don't think there's anything else that exists like that in such a broad way.
Tom, did you try the Sony PlayStation booth in LA the
Not
last
only
time?
did I get to go try it out, but I followed up. They followed up with me like 9 months later, where I got to go,
Oh
Awesome.
wow.
and they were developing for the new system and like a whole new range of games, the adaptive controls, a whole new set of adaptive controls and like in-game mechanisms for individuals with disabilities and individuals who are blind, using like full 3D like rendered audio and stuff to enable like a blind person to play a game with an audio, with just an audio experience and stuff. I got to go like to the studios for like a week and sit there firsthand with the engineers and try
That's
out
awesome.
the stuff, like try out these
Wow.
tools that they've developed, and it was really 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 awesome. So not only did I get to experience it at the expo, but they followed up with me like later on in the year, and I got to like personally go out there and experience it like in Santa Monica, which is super super
Or
cool.
That's really cool, dude. That's
So
incredible. I didn't
there
even
you
know that.
That
go.
is so cool to hear, Tom. Wow.
Yeah, so there are people out there like,
You know,
you
and
can there's opportunities like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and that was
Good.
just like I went and I talked to a guy for 15 minutes and he took my email down and he emailed me 9 months later. It's like, hey, I don't know if you remember me from the expo, but if you're still interested, like we'd love for you to like come out, like if you're available this time. And I was like, heck yeah. So that, and still like I have my like stack of business cards from like the last like two
Yeah.
expos that I've gone to, which are like contacts and references that I keep and hold on to because I know it comes up when like my shower chair is like messed up and something and I need to get a new one. Like I have like a whole range of individuals I can contact, people that I've talked to like personally, that I've talked to, and then I'm
wow.
probably like get a chance to see coming up. And there you go, Bobby. Like your stack of two, for everything. It's so funny. Like I keep with all my folders of like all my information and stuff. But I have my abilities expo like pamphlet folders. Like they give you a little like pocketed folder to keep your stuff
Yeah.
in. You get your bag and everything every year too. So like I have my whole little abilities expo section like on my bookshelf with all the information that I keep year to year. And that stuff, I mean, it's free to go, but even if you had to pay, like you can't really put a value on that kind of stuff because
Mm-mm.
it's so useful moving forward.
No,
Yeah,
and
the
right now,
resources.
I'm, paying a lot less for internet. So I mean, it was just too weird. You're sitting there at a disabilities expo, a disability expo, and there's AT&T. It's like, okay, what can AT&T do for me? And he goes, well, we're just featuring our fiber optic uh, internet, and let me see if you qualify or if it's in your area. And he goes, nope, not in your area. I'm like, well, then you're not really valuable to me right now. And he goes, well, how much do you pay for internet? And I just happened to say, at that time it was close to $75. And he goes, well, AT&T has a program where if you're a business, and I don't know if I should say this live, but I can't officially ask you what your business is, but I'll give you a business rate. So now I pay $35 a month.
Holy crap.
Heck yeah, there
Awesome.
you go. The
Yeah,
savings
that
keep
that's
on
a that's
going.
a nice little discount.
Hey, I'm a business.
There you go. So call AT&T. You say you want the business account.
Another thing too, I was just gonna mention another. I don't know if you guys are doing it virtually, but I know at the regular expos, there's a big job fair type of thing too for people like for with disabilities trying to find jobs and employment and stuff. So that's another really cool feature. I just wanted to shout out and mention too. And I don't know if they're doing it virtually, but I know once you get back to these normal ones, that's a great feature to have for people.
bigger companies usually do. Like Wells Fargo, every time they're
Yeah,
at
Wells
our
Fargo.
shows, they're always looking to hire. Of course, the ones who are building the products in their garage, not so much.
Right.
But any of the bigger companies, yeah, absolutely, they're looking for people with disabilities who want to work.
And honestly, like I know every year that individuals from like the Northridge group and stuff have been contacted, and we know a lot of people like in the community, but I do know like friends have been contacted to just be like a representative for the weekend. You know, like the Abilities Expos all over the U.S. and a lot of these companies like, hey, we need some representatives who we know use our products day in and day out. Like, hey, are you available for the weekend to go? You know, like represent us and talk about us and stuff, and we'll pay you and stuff. And like I know people that have like gained opportunities to do cool stuff like that, through the expo too, which is again neat and cool, fun experience.
So that's actually, I got my first. So last year I had the booth, but the year before that, what really kind of got me interested, Able Thrive, which is a website. If people don't know, they curate videos and stuff, and they have a bunch of my videos, a whole bunch of other quad para videos. You can kind of search like what you're looking for, like transfers and things and help, and they kind of just organize the videos. And I had been friends with the girl Brittany who runs that for a long time, and she asked me to come out. She wasn't going to be able to make it the first day Friday, so she asked me if she could send me some stuff, and I could open the booth for her on that Friday. And I went with my grandma and mom, and we opened up the booth and got it all set up, and but that was really cool. So that was my first kind of experience at like a company thing. And like you said, she just like she didn't really. I think she actually did pay me a little bit. She covered my gas, covered parking, and all that stuff. And it was
Yeah.
just a great experience for me, anyways. But yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities like that for people out there that are just like, you just cool companies, smaller things like that will help out.
Oh,
Sean, we should have her on soon.
Yeah, I
yeah.
actually want to talk to her about that too. Yeah, that would be good.
About how some of the more expensive products, American One Credit Union is going to be there. You guys can talk to them because they do financing on a lot of disability products.
That's cool. That's good.
Some that you would normally think of. So you could talk to them about that. And then there's going to be 2 pages here. One it lists all the brand new products because a lot of companies, as I talk to them, I'm discovering they're just coming out with new products. I think Sunrise Quickie is one, Coloplast is one, just off the top of my head. And then there's going to be a list of special like holiday gifts for people with disabilities and special holiday sales. So those are some other things that you can just look up. You can look stuff up by category, you can look stuff up by company name, but you can also look them up like show specials.
Awesome, great information. And this is all
And that's
information
on the
available on the
website.
website, right?
That's
Jinx,
it's
Bobby, Yo Me
site
Coke.
when you go on the virtual.
Awesome.
I've
That's
put up the
great.
website. I put it
Do
up
we
again.
have
I
any
put it up in
questions
the
in the
video a
chat?
couple times. No, we don't have too many questions.
Chat's
But if there
kinda
are,
quiet today.
That's okay.
if anybody
Alright,
does
we
have
can
any
talk.
questions for Julianne about the expo or about anything, you can go ahead and drop them in there.
I do have one last thing to say is this is also a good opportunity to ask them, do you have a show discount on your product today? So,
Oh, right.
that
Always
a
ask.
lot of times, about 80% of the time, most companies do have a discount on their product. And, another thing when we do go back to live, and this is something for everyone to know, is that you can go up to the company on a Friday and ask them, hey, are you taking this back, this equipment or whatever they might have there? Because
Yeah.
if not, they might be wanting to sell it so they don't have to take it back to their shop or back. A lot of times they're from out of state. So I've gotten an exercise machine a long time ago, but on Friday I'm like, are you going to sell these? And he goes, well, I would sell one on Sunday. Yeah, after it's done. I'm like, cool, how much? He goes, oh yeah, that would help me out a lot. You know what? I'll sell it to you for half of the cost. Well, I got a brand new machine.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that way they don't
that's
have
great.
shipping. It's perfect. You're right, Bobby. That happens a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people as well. That's a Sunday is the deal day. You go around and you try to get yourself a good deal on something.
Well, what you need to do if it's a really good product, you have to go on Friday and get in line. So you
Okay.
get your name first. Like, I will be back on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Good. You got to start
Is there
early
anything
then.
else you want to add, Julianne?
Um, I'm looking over the list of people who are coming. Did you guys see Cat Tongue Grips last
So I
time?
actually wanted to shout them. I actually got some of their stuff too. I think Bobby does too. But yeah, no, they're actually awesome. I found them last time at the expo. That was one of the few booths when I ventured out. I happened to stumble on the cat tongue tape
There
guy.
it is.
Yeah, there we go. I got my roll too. I was gonna say I could probably reach mine soon, close. But yeah, no,
Well,
that stuff is super handy and awesome.
it's
Really
roll
good.
tape, but I've got it on all my foot plates because
Yeah.
it'll hold anything in place. It'll
And
keep yourself dashboard.
I was gonna say, yeah, I keep it
Yeah,
on my cell phone, a bunch of stuff, but it's great for the foot plate. A lot of people use like a grip tape, like from like a skateboard kind of
skateboarding.
gripish tape, but that stuff is really harsh, and like if you have bare feet on it, it kind of tears
Oh,
up the.
yeah.
It's not
Forget
super
about
good
it.
for your skin. So the cat tongue is way nicer on your skin and stuff. It's way better for
Yeah, it's a
that.
lot softer. I use it with my. I have an exercise bar, and I wrapped it around the exercise bar just for a little bit more grip, and it
Nice.
worked well. So there's a lot of things you can use it for. Also, I found like my mouse. I have a trackball, and every time I'm moving around so fast, it just keeps moving the trackball. I
Yeah.
put a piece of grip tape down on the desk and then put my trackball on top of that. So it's almost like a mouse pad, but the trackball doesn't move around anymore.
Nice.
Yeah. They're terrific and really, really nice people as
Yeah.
well.
And if you want like they do have the roll, like what I just showed, just showed. They do have the roll that's clear, but if you want an iPhone case or one that you can stick on the back of your case, they have different colors and
They have
designs, or like
designs,
American
yeah.
flag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just bought the clear roll too because just so I could put it on everything. But yeah,
Yeah,
those
and
were really
it
cool.
was like, yeah, he sold it to me, I think, or us, like for $15, and then, but the one you just slapped on like a little square piece, that was like $4 or $5. So it was like
Yeah.
worth it to buy the roll.
See,
So
I
when the
actually
expo comes
I put my
around,
sticker
treat
under it.
yourself.
So I got it all like in little strips, but yeah, because I have my little my thumb hole thingy, so I had to put a little piece on that because it sticks out a little more. So like it was sliding on that, but it's gripping on everything else. So I had my brother cut a little circle for me and put it on there. So now I got full grip on the phone. But it being clear, I was able to put a sticker under it. So it's a live to roll cat tongue.
Yeah. And it's just a lot easier treating yourself, I think, when you're also like supporting like good homegrown businesses too. It's like real
Exactly.
people who are out there, like doing it like not for the fame and the fortune, but to support individuals in a positive way and like reinforce a community that they really care about. And I think that is like a really great thing. So, when you do go out and like treat yourself, like no, like it feels good that you're doing it like the right way. I think.
Definitely. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's if any unless you guys have anything else, Juliana, we'll shout out. So the
4:30.
dates again,
Really
November
on the money
20th,
today.
21st, and 22nd for the upcoming Abilities Expo. Link is so you can register is in the description, and I just popped it on the screen again. So anybody interested, please sign up. There's a lot of great information, a lot of cool stuff to see. So
And if you want to get a hold of me, I'm just jdallara at abilities.com. JDALLARA at abilities.com.
Thank you so much, Julianne, for joining us today. You're
This is
always a
fun, guys.
wonderful and warm presence,
Thanks.
and very informative. So thank you.
And I'll
And
see you.
shout out to Sean and Bobby. amazing co-hosts slash show creators and producer. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. We're here every Tuesday at 3:30 with new guests and awesome topics
And
surrounding
also, I'm gonna do a
life
quick
with
shout out.
disability.
Quick shout out. We're doing live shows every Tuesday at 3:30, and the third Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. We're gonna have a monthly women's show every month, hosted by Brianna Wheeler, who has hosted
Yeah.
our last women's takeover. So that's gonna be another addition to the Live to Roll lineup here. So just so everybody knows,
That is
quick
great.
shout out for Brianna and the women's show.
Mhm.
So coming
Good job.
Thursdays. But yeah, so that's it, guys. If you guys aren't already subscribed, please click that button, like if you haven't, and check out the Abilities Expo. Live to roll,
Yep.
everybody.
There's 9
See you
people
next week.
watching, so we should have one more like.
Do the like. Come on,
There
guys.
we go.
All right, see y'all next
Thanks,
week.
guys.
All right. Thanks,
Pleasure.
everyone.
All right. Thanks, Julie.